to another edition of MIMINEL'S Diary Realities and Perceptions. I'm happy to see you guys once again, and I'm happy to be gracing your screens. I'm in good health, and I hope you all are in good health. I want to say a very big thank you to all those who have been following us up to this point. For those who have subscribed, thank you very much. And if you're a new subscriber, we have love in our hearts for you and a very warm hug when I see you in person. So please don't forget to subscribe if you're just joining in, and for those of you who are yet to subscribe, please do me the favor of hitting the subscribe button. I would really do appreciate that. It really doesn't take any data. Please, it doesn't eat up to 1 MB. Please, it's just to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell by it, so you get notified whenever I drop a video. So I'm very much amazed with the love and support I've been getting from you all. I want to say a very big thank you to my wonderful and amazing family. You all are wonderful. May God bless you for me. And of course, the month of love is gradually getting to an end, so I really do hope our relationships are getting better, our love lives are increasing, and I'm right here just giving tips on how we can handle our love life and maybe our day-to-day affairs from next month, because of course this month was the month of love, like I earlier mentioned, so we had to limit our topics just to marriage, love, and sex, and those issues affecting man and women. You know, the man and his wife, or the man and his spouse, or the man and his girlfriend. Yeah, so those kind of issues. So please don't forget to always share your views on each topic. I really do appreciate all those who have been sharing their views so far. Thank you so much. I really am grateful, and I pray I continue getting the support from you all, and I pray my topics or my discussions are serving you, and they are really coming in handy when you need them. So on today's edition of the show, we are going to look at 2 types of misunderstandings couples usually have. So in all that is said and done, it's no news, of course, that like 80% of people do not marry their dream man or woman. Now, the 10% of people who eventually marry their dream man or woman are very unhappy in their marriages, usually because the character and the physical do not match. Sometimes we go all out, we look all out for the physical and the outward attributes of what the man has, maybe his riches, what he has to offer, but then we do not look at the character of the man or the woman. So sometimes the character and the physicality do not match, and that's 10% of marriages out there. Now, like 8% of marriages out there are circumstantial marriages which are either built on circumstances, like there's something that attributes them to, there's something that brings them to get married rather, excuse me. So it's either out of peer pressure, maybe all my friends are getting married, I just need to jump on the next available man. Some, maybe they do not have a choice, maybe while they were much younger they had to scare away all the suitors, so they just want to manage whatever man comes across, just to bear the name of, or just to bear the title of a Mrs. or a Mr., you know. And the next other set of people, maybe due to circumstances, maybe a lady gets pregnant for you and you're forced to just marry her. Some people find themselves in situations like that. So it's not bizarre for you to hear that some people still get married because they got somebody pregnant. Yes, there are marriages that are forced, even in recent times. Now, there are other set of people who just get married because maybe out of pity, I've just been with this man so long, maybe out of all the people I've been, this one is better, let me just manage. So there are circumstantial marriages. So in all, or in actual fact, you find that just 2% of people actually marry their dream man, or actually have ideal marriages. When I talk of ideal marriages, it's not because they are perfect, no, but because they have taken that conscious decision that they have to make this marriage work. They are aware of the circumstances or whatever is happening around them, so they have taken that decision that in all that is being said and done, they have to make this marriage work against all odds. Now, that kind of marriage which is seemingly perfect, or like seemingly good in the eyes, or in the eyes of everyone, there are forces which will naturally come to disrupt it, because there are forces that do not like a peaceful or a perfect union. So men and women will definitely go through a lot of maybe trials in their marriage or in their relationship, especially when you find that right person. But of course, it will be unfair if I don't tell you that there truly is no perfect man out there. So misunderstandings are bound to happen. Just like, is it Rude Boy or Mr. P? I think Rude Boy said, if you want that perfect woman, go build them yourself. It is true. There is no perfect human being out there. Man, there's no such thing as the ideal man or the woman. It's all in your head, my brother and my sister. So please don't go and crucify your partner. She can be beautiful, but she may not have all the attributes or good characteristics you need in a woman. She can have all the good attributes, good characteristics, but she will not have the looks you want in a woman. And same as a man, he might have all the money in the world, but he might not be respectful. He might not even value you. You might just be one of his assets that he just acquired. So it varies. It is the grace of God for you to find a man who is God-fearing, rich, humble at the same time, and still physically good looking. And when you do, he's not going to be perfect. He would have that particular aspect or that trait that will not be appealing or appeasing to you. So of course there is no perfect human being. That is why misunderstandings are bound to happen. There are forces that have understood this, and they are taking advantage of that fact to bring misunderstandings to any perfect or good union, like your perfect match made in heaven, that kind of stuff. Not because he's perfect, but because he or she matches at least 80 or 60, 70, 80% of the attributes you need in a man or a woman. So there are forces which are naturally going to fight that marriage or that union. So on today's show, I'm going to look at those two basic misunderstandings that couples usually have, and which are the emotional misunderstandings and the ideological misunderstandings. So stay tuned on this episode on the show. Don't go anywhere, and please grab a bite or a glass of juice or water while we break, dissect, and intersect the topic. I'll be right back. All right, welcome guys, welcome back. So I earlier mentioned we're going to talk about two types of misunderstandings couples usually have in marriages or relationships. The very first one is the emotional misunderstanding. The emotional misunderstanding takes forms like fights over actions, words, people in most cases usually has to deal with the people who are very close or dear to a partner or a spouse. People like friends, people like family, and sometimes people in this case could be third parties in the relationship, and third parties come with issues like gossips and rumors. So emotional misunderstandings, it carries that sphere: your actions, your words, people in terms of dear ones, friends, families, and in terms of third parties, which comes with aspects of rumors and gossips. So let's take, for example, maybe a partner has, or maybe two people in a relationship, and the man seeks to control or have control over his woman, and he tends to determine the kind of people that the partner or the lady keeps around herself. And then the lady tries to put up a fight, because at the end of the day, there are some friendships you carry along with you from childhood and even before your partner gets into the picture, and maybe in the long run your partner doesn't get comfortable around a lot of friends. That may cause misunderstandings in your home, because the man may not like this particular friend and you cannot give up this particular friend. There are friendships that can get shattered because of a union, not necessarily marriage. It could still be relationship. I know people who would naturally want their partners to keep a certain kind of company. If the lady herself is not comfortable with that, it brings misunderstanding in the home. And another situation of misunderstanding could be in a case where the man or maybe the lady, like whichever partner, uses words wrongly. You could want to say something and it comes out so wrong. That could bring misunderstanding. So that's an aspect of words, using of words. It hurts your partner deeply. It could still be actions. There are days when your partner could come across like he or she's being insensitive, or he or she is, she just comes across like carefree towards how you feel or how you should take something or how you should react to something. But you do it to them, they won't tolerate it. So those kind of incidents can breed misunderstanding. So those are emotional aspects. Sometimes it is just rumors or gossips of what your partner have been doing, maybe in your absence or at your back, and things like that. So those kind of misunderstandings can come in, and they fall under the category of emotional misunderstanding. While ideological difference, on the other hand, occupies areas like his beliefs, his or her beliefs in terms of what they think is right or wrong, how their thoughts are being guided. 2, it could be their hobbies, what they like doing, what they enjoy doing, the pleasures they derive from doing these things. And 3, it could either come from religion. There are people who get married from different religion, could be whatever faith they have. Some are Christians, some others are Muslims. So sometimes there might be differences in those ideologies. Maybe a Muslim man who doesn't eat pork meat, and maybe he gets married to a Christian who enjoys pork meat. So those kind of misunderstandings can come in, and it could still be in ideology, as in whatever discussion, because obviously a man will think the way he is wired to because of his ideology, right? So this is where I want us to focus on, because the truth is ideological differences sets the ground for emotional misunderstandings. What you believe in is what guides how you talk to people, how you interact with people, whatever comes out of your mouth, and how you carry yourself about in your day-to-day activities. It's your ideology that guides whatever emotions that comes out. So in terms of the man and the woman, a lot of people have not understood this phenomenon, so there's bound to be misunderstanding. Men and women are wired to think differently. 2 different set of people. A man thinks with his head, but a woman thinks with her heart. So at the end of the day, you find that there will always be that conflict, because the man is a rational thinker, the woman is an emotional thinker. Sometimes a man does something and he feels like, oh, this is the best decision for us, because he has already thought ahead of time. He has gone ahead of time to think of the consequences of that thing or that action to both the man and the woman. The woman who sees only at that point in time will not really understand why the man has to do it that way. So that misunderstanding is bound to happen until we learn to understand these two conceptions. There is no way misunderstandings will not ensue in our home. So we have to try to learn to pray together first of all. Once we pray together, we will stick together. Like they say, a couple who prays together sticks together. Ask God for understanding. Ask God for discernment. Let him make you understand your partner, so that you are able to move forward and you just have the grace to carry yourself and the marriage like so effortlessly. And people look at you and they're like, how does this girl do this, or how does this man do this, or how do they do that? It's just because you people have taken the conscious decision to work together and flow together. So misunderstandings are inevitable in a marriage. But if we learn these 2 phenomena, the ideological and the emotional, we are going to work. While the woman carries more of the emotions, the man carries the ideology. Because he's the rational one. He was wired naturally to think that way. Right? The woman was wired to be the emotional one. It's the woman who has a preoccupation of childbearing and nurturing. So she's always emotional because she gets attached easily. But the man can just, up and he's going. Yes. It explains why you find two people who look so good together. They're like a perfect match. But of course, they cannot last. And wherever there is misunderstanding breeds pain. And pain comes with issues like lack of or loss of trust. In severe cases like loss of trust, it comes with pride. Because maybe no one wants to admit the fault. And you find that your relationship just goes down the drain just because of pride. Nobody wants to admit their wrong. Nobody wants to take the blame. Nobody wants to admit their fault. So a lot of those things come in play, and all centers around these 2 types of misunderstandings, the emotional and the ideological. If we can only understand this phenomenon, then I guess we're going to have peaceful homes. So I'm going to try to talk about 6 things we should learn to do. 6 things we should learn and apply in our marriages, our relationship, if we must make it work. The very first thing you should learn to do is to understand each other. Talk to each other. Admit, share your worries, share your differences. Understand them. Admit to the fault where you are wrong and apologize. If only we can admit. A lot of relationships have gone down the drain because of pride. Empty pride. At the end of the day, you're hurting. The very second thing we should learn to do in our homes is to intentionally, that's choose to make that marriage or that relationship work against all odds. Make that decision to avoid problems in your marriage. Those things that your partner does not like, don't do them. Don't say them. Don't go to those places he or she does not like. If you must make that marriage work, avoid having or doing those things that will cause unnecessary problems in your home. You have to intentionally make it work. You have to intentionally choose your partner. Choose them and make it work. Whether it is going right, follow. Left, follow. Make it work by all means, by all costs. Take that decision never to have a fight with your partner. Make the commitment of loving them unconditionally if you must succeed in your marriage or your relationship, whichever the case. The very third thing is learn to be accountable. Fill your partner in on your day-to-day activities, where you're off to, who you're meeting. Come back home, discuss how your day went. Be accountable to your partners. How do you want to keep a long-term relationship if you're not accountable? Accountability counts. It plays a very vital role of trust in that relationship. The very fourth thing you should learn to do in your relationship is to listen to your partner's views. Make them a part and parcel of important decision making. Whenever you're making a decision that concerns you, it could even still be your personal life. You might be facing a challenge at business, at work, and you want to take a very serious decision. Fill your partner in. Give them a room to speak and air out their minds on what they think is best for you at that point in time. It could be decisions that concerns both of you. Fill your partner in. Give them room to make their own decisions, no matter how stupid it might sound to you, but listen anyways to their views. Listen to what they have to say. It is not stupid. It's not foolish. It's for peace sake. I bet there's no way you'll be doing all of these things and you still have misunderstandings in your relationships or in your marriage. Learn to listen to them. Sometimes there's a lot of conflict in ideas. Everybody wants to see, everybody is boss. Sit down. Have a mature conversation. Come to a unanimous agreement. And then implement what has been agreed upon. There is no way both of you will sit down, come to a consensus, and then misunderstandings just no. If there is understanding, if there's agreement, then I'm betting you a lot of things will be better. A lot will go on right in your home. Now, the very next thing you should consider in that relationship to make it work or to avoid those two types of misunderstandings up there is to choose to love each other unconditionally. Make out time for each other. Make each other a priority. Nobody is ever too busy for their partner. Nobody is ever too busy for their spouse. There's no man, no matter how busy you are, no matter how tight that schedule is, you would always create a slot for your partner. Same with the woman. So when they start telling you, oh, I'm so busy, I can't talk to you today, let's talk. No, it's not right. Misunderstandings are bound to come in because you're not giving them enough attention. You're not giving them enough time. And this is what brings me to the last and very vital point, which is love language. Understand your partner's love language. If only we can understand our partner's love language, a lot will be better. There are people who have different types of love languages. Why don't you sit down and ask your partner if you don't know what love languages is, if you don't understand what they want, or who or how they want to be treated? Because that love language is what ignites that flame of love in them. It's what gives them that excitement to be around you. Some people's love language is quality time. If only I can spend quality time with my partner, and then I'm like super happy. Some others, it is gifts. Some others, it is just words of appreciation. Some other people, it is acts of service. Just always be available for them. So understand what ignites your partner. Understand what gives them that excitement. What gives them that butterflies in their bellies, Understand that, and I'm betting you misunderstandings are going to be far from you. If only you can apply these 6 strategies, then I'm betting you a lot will be better in your home. But I don't wish for anybody's marriage or relationship to go on the rocks, because it's usually not a good feeling. I know people who have had suicidal thoughts just because they lost a relationship or a marriage. So it's really a disheartening situation. And I'm really hoping that this video really comes in handy. And if you've been watching up to this point and you find that these tips I've given are going to be helpful to you, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up. And I would always be here to welcome any questions or any worries. You can always check on our Facebook page or write us on Messenger at MIMINEL'S Diary, Realities and Perceptions. And don't forget to share the video, please. Please don't forget to share. I really do appreciate that. And of course, until next time, I've always been your host, Minette, aka MIMINEL, on MIMINEL'S Diary, Realities and Perceptions. Thank you very much, and do have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.